Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Raymond. Here are tonight's top stories. Hong Kong reports 93 new COVID cases amid fears of a growing outbreak in Wong Tai Sin. Lockdowns are extended in COVID-hit Kwai Chung estate. And British police investigate parties at Boris Johnson's residence during the height of COVID. Hong Kong recorded 124 COVID cases today, 93 of them locally transmitted. Suspected invisible transmission chains in Wong Tai Sin led to a higher caseload there, while hotspot Kwai Chung and surrounding areas also saw more infections. Johanna Chan reports.
Kwai Chung estate once again had the lion's share of confirmed COVID cases. Yat Kwai House, where the virus was first found, registered 15 infections today, with Ha Kwai House 10. 4 residents of Yeung Kwai House were infected, while 3 other blocks in the public housing estate registered 1 case each. Of the 6 untraceable cases today, 1 is a 29-year-old housewife who lives in On Kwai House in neighboring Kwai Fook Court. Further west, a man in Glory Court in Chun Garden also tested positive. He was classified as an untraceable case, but he lives in the same building as an earlier patient, in a flat facing the same direction. Meanwhile, the outbreak in Wong Tai Sin has continued to spread. Officials are trying to trace how a 70-year-old man in Tat Sin House in Upper Wong Tai Sin Estate caught the L452R variant. Elsewhere in the district, a client and a part-time worker at a salon in Fung Wong New Village tested positive today, a day after a hairdresser was diagnosed. A construction site on Victory Avenue was ordered to be disinfected after 9 workers were infected.
Our investigation indicates that they work together and share same changing room and toilet. So because of the scale of the number of cases, all the workers will be considered as close contact and be quarantined. And the operator has to disinfect the place thoroughly before reopening.
Authorities also noted the virus in the current 5th wave is less severe, as the only patient who was seriously ill was discharged when his condition improved. But they urged people to continue protecting themselves with masks and jabs. Johanna Chan, HKIBC.
Authorities are evacuating people living in Unit 5 of Glory Court in Chun Wan Garden after at least 2 people were infected. Experts who visited the building suspect the virus originated in a 12th floor flat and then moved upwards through the exhaust pipes. The pipes face the kitchen of a rooftop flat where another person also tested positive. Apart from all number 5 flats, those who live in number 4 from the 16th floor upwards must also leave the 18-story building. The government has extended the lockdown of 2 buildings at the epicenter of Hong Kong's current COVID outbreak. Chief Executive Carrie Lam said Yat Kwai House will be sealed off for another 2 days, while residents of nearby Ha Kwai House will be in isolation for a total of 5 days. Macy Mock reports.
Chief Executive Carrie Lam noted that the number of confirmed or preliminary positive COVID cases in Kwai Chung Estate surged from just 9 last Thursday to 226 yesterday. With 10 more confirmed cases in Ha Kwai House, Lam ordered that the 1-day lockdown of the block be extended to 5 days until Saturday. The 5-day lockdown of Yat Kwai House, the first building in the public house estate to hit by COVID, has been increased by another 2 days after registering around 150 cases. Another block, Yeung Kwai House, is scheduled to end a 5-day closure on Thursday. Lam said she fully understood the impact of the lockdown on the 7,000 residents of the 3 buildings. There have been complaints about meals, rubbish piling up, and mandatory tests.
I would not say that we have done it in a perfect manner, but we'll continue to improve. I already said that we will improve in terms of the hotline inquiry. We will improve in terms of cleaning the rubbish and distributing the mailboxes, and also arranging in an orderly manner for the residents to undergo the compulsory testing.
Lam cautioned that the chances of social distancing measure being significantly relaxed next Friday are low. She said vaccine bubbles must be enhanced to increase the vaccination rate. Lam did not rule out seeking help from Beijing to increase Hong Kong's daily COVID testing capacity. Maisie Mok, HKIBC.
The chief executive says she doesn't wear a mask at press conferences so that her message can be conveyed better when people see her emotions. Carrie Lam also confirmed that she asked Home Affairs Secretary Caspar Tsui to stay away from work until the results of an investigation into his presence at a birthday party. Johanna Chan reports.
Home Affairs Chief Caspar Tsui is the only one of 15 senior officials who has yet to return to work after showing up at a controversial birthday party attended by 2 COVID-infected people. Chief Executive Carrie Lam confirmed today for the first time that she ordered Tsui to stay away due to an investigation into whether he had breached COVID measures.
His position is a Secretary for Home Affairs, who is involved in the anti-epidemic operation of the Hong Kong SAR government. So I have already asked that he should not come to work until the investigation is completed and the results announced to the public, including any possible sanctions.
Lam expects to disclose the findings before the Lunar New Year. She added the 15 officials at the party in early January were not a homogeneous group, which could result in different conclusions and sanctions for each individual. Lam also explained why she did not wear a mask at times.
This is not incidental. This is a well-thought-out behavior of the chief executive.
The chief executive said she was maskless in the Legislative Council chamber or at press conferences to convey her messages clearly.
The people of Hong Kong may even have to feel my emotions. So sometimes I am pretty relaxed. For example, in August last year, the virus situation was well under control and our athletes were doing so well. I came here to talk to you in a very relaxed and very elated mood. But now I'm very somber. I'm very solemn because I'm very worried. And wearing the mask would not allow people to see for themselves.
Lam said she wanted everyone to have a better grasp of the COVID situation and pull in their efforts to fight Omicron. Johanna Chan, HKIBC.
A lawmaker said the government should arrange for sick leave letters for people who cannot go to work because of lockdowns in Kwai estate. Federation of Trade Unions legislator Michael Look made the call after his colleagues agreed to discuss labor rights during the pandemic. Labor and health officials, as well as the Equal Opportunities Commission, were invited for the discussions next Friday. Look, who chairs the Manpower Panel, says workers forced to stay home because their building has been sealed off should not be fired. And he insists that their annual leave should not be forfeited because of lockdowns. The mainland is struggling to keep COVID out of Beijing as the capital reported 5 more local cases. In Wong Tai district, where some cases are located, authorities started a second round of mass testing. Residents were ordered to get screened before heading to work. Xinjiang's Ili prefecture, meanwhile, has become a new hotspot with 6 cases. Officials are still trying to figure out how the virus got there. In total, the mainland had 18 new cases yesterday, including from Henan, Hebei, Tianjin, and Shanghai. Overseas, London police are investigating parties which government officials are accused of organizing during lockdowns. It comes as revelation of the Prime Minister's birthday party 2 years ago renewed public anger over what is being seen as the blatant disregard of social distancing measures. Winner Wong reports.
The scandal known as Partygate in Britain has widened. British media revealed today that Prime Minister Boris Johnson had attended a birthday party in his honor in his official residence in June 2020. At the time, COVID restrictions banned indoor gatherings, and outdoor ones were limited to 6 people. But up to 30 people reportedly turned up for the Downing Street celebration, organized by Johnson's wife, Carrie, who was his fiancée at the time. In response to the allegations, the Prime Minister's office said it had been a brief gathering and Johnson was there for less than 10 minutes. Today, Commissioner Cressida Dick said Metropolitan Police are now investigating several parties government officials reportedly attended during lockdown. She referred to deep public concern about the allegations, making a U-turn to the force's previous stance of not interfering. Meanwhile, the results of an investigation conducted by senior civil servant Sue Gray is scheduled for release tonight. Johnson was asked whether he could guarantee there were no more parties for the public to find out before Gray's report is publicized.
What I can guarantee is that this government is focused 100% on dealing with the big problems that we have.
The British public has been furious over the past few weeks as details of parties in government offices leaked out, leading to growing calls for Johnson to step down. Wong, HKIBC.
And coming up after the break, and Ethiopia's false banana holds hope of feeding millions.